Let's see now how to create a more complicated blueprint. In this case, we're going to see how to create this Constructors Championship table. If we look at it, how it works, let's go live, initialize sections, and let's change to another camera, maybe this one, and let's see how this looks. So this is the table of the classification of the teams. Okay, they have all these images and stuff, and all this data comes directly from UnRemote2. So let's see how we can create this. The first thing we have to do is set up UnRemote2, the same as before. So let's go to UnRemote and go to our show. Let's create data types. We need to create some data types for this because we need to hold all the information from the teams. I have already set this up, but I can show you how to do this. So this basically is a team. To create a data type called team. We just created just name and description. And then the important thing is to define the fields. Okay, so to define the fields, I will be creating these fields here: the name, shortcode, logo, main color, points, etc. Okay, each of these fields have a type. In this case, most of them are text, but this is an image for the logo, and that's basically it. To create a field, same as before, we name it. Very important, we set the name of the variable that we will be using in Unreal Engine to retrieve this value, and then the type. Okay, so this is how all of these are done. Okay, once we have the structure, we go to the data. So this is all I have already set up. To create a new team, you give it a name, and then all the fields we have created before, if you remember, name, shortcode, logo, main color, and points is here. You just fill it, and that's it. So here you can see all the information from all the teams. Okay, so data is complete. Let's see how to set up the widget in UnRemote2. So if we go to our programs, and for the next program, for example, this one, we're gonna check the sections. In this case, we need a section called Constructors Championship. It can be called anything. The important thing here is that we are going to link it to our blueprint in Unreal Engine, the blueprint responsible for showing the data. Let's do it from the beginning. So let's say Constructors Championship 2, a description. Important thing here is the Unreal Engine blueprint path. In this case, in our program, we have this one here. This is the blueprint that is going to be responsible for showing the data. We're going to see in this blueprint later. So we click it, we click on it and click this button. Okay, so the path is here. So what type of data we're going to show? We're going to show teams. And do we want to show individual content, meaning that can I click on the teams or do something about it, or just I want to show everything? So I will show everything. And this is how this widget is set up, which is this one here. Okay, that's it. Last thing is if we need to check the data that we're going to show, like we can modify the position. I mean, this is going to be Red Bull is going to be first, Mercedes second, so I can rearrange them as I wish, and then I can disable something, and maybe I don't want Mercedes to appear, or I do, so I check it out. In this case, I want all the teams and I want them sorted as the last Constructors Championship table. So we're done with UnRemote2. Let's go into Unreal Engine. So this is our blueprint, BP Constructors Championship V2. In this case, we have a graphical representation. This is not like the camera control. Here we are showing data. So we, apart from the event graph, which is not as complicated as you can see, we have this thing. Okay. You can do this however you want. I mean, this is absolutely freedom. I can recommend you the way I do it, but you can choose anything. So in this case, if you look at here, we have a folder called items, and then item 1, 2, 3, 4. These are these items here. Okay. Okay, this is each of the items in the table. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each of them. They are exactly the same. These are actually another blueprint. Okay, this, if you look at this, this is a child component. This child component has a BP constructor thing here, which is, if you will look at it, is this one here. If you open up, you will see that it's just this item. Okay, plus it has all the logic to update their content, but we'll go into that later. So for now, we have something that has a number, an image, text for the name of the team, and the points. Okay, so 4 elements here. So all of these are copies of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 elements. So let's go into the main blueprint and see the code. As I said, as I explained in the other tutorial, we need some specific events. Okay, so in this case, we're going to have init event. This is going to be responsible for loading all the data. We're going to have a change event used when we click on each of the elements. In this case, we don't need it. And then a start and an end event to show the table going in and out. Okay, we'll see this later. So important thing, init. First thing we're going to do is move the position of our table into the default position, which is actually located below the floor. Let's see how it works, because I don't know if I show you. So if we go here and go live and initialize, and you go to Constructors Championship. I'll do it again. I have something strange. Whoop, it will appear. Okay, it will be this animation, the same when it goes. This will be the end event. Here, okay. So the start will show it, the end will take it away. This is very simple. This is just a timeline and then updating the position. Okay, going in or going back. So let's go to the important thing, which is loading the data. As you remember, we have init and then we have a data string. This is going to be a JSON string. So first thing, we initialize position. And then we have some extra variables here to start everything. This is items to sort. This is a helper array just to get all these things sorted, because I realize that if you rely on the order you put them here, sometimes it's not, Unreal Engine doesn't respect it. So I prefer to sort it on my own. And all the contents, data indices, and data map. This will store the variable versus the content of the variable. So in this case, we're going to get, we sort all the children, meaning we are going to sort all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For each of them, we cast it to the item, meaning we're going to cast it to each of these ones, because we want them to update their content, because then the code is really simple. So we cast to this little item, and then we add into the array this item. So this is just a little function to get all the items here stored in this variable and sorted. Okay. Once we do that, okay, then we go and load the data. This function is going here. The same as before, we're going to clear everything. And then we're going to create our data maps, meaning that in these variables here, we're going to store all the information that comes from the JSON file. Okay, we can go into it, but it is very similar to the other one. Okay, so load from a string, get the field names, and basically get the store the elements into the array. Okay, once you do that, then we have not only to store the data to use later, but also we have to put it in place. So we have 10 elements, 0 to 9. I could have counted. It could be maybe made more automatically. But basically what we're doing is we're going to get all the variables we need. In this case, we need the name, points, and logo. Remember that this is coming from here. Okay, so if we go to our shows and the data types for the teams, okay, we have these codes here, name, points, and logo. It's name, logo, and points. Okay, so this is how we get the variable. Okay, then we get the value of this variable from our data map, and we load it into this function called load data, which is coming from these content items. Remember, these content items is hosting all of these So children things. Okay, so each of them will update the content. So we pass them everything. And if we go here, we are now in the other one. This is the item. Okay, so remember that this is just the small item here. So we're passing the information there, and we just update values. Some of them are easy, it's just a set text, and then we have something a bit more complicated, which is this is a bit of logic for the first row because we're going to change in some colors, and then we load an image. Okay, and that's basically it, to be honest. So yeah, that is how this thing works. So yeah. Remote live, initialize, Constructors Championship, go on and off. Okay, and this is it. So I hope you liked it and see you in the next tutorial.